Architect Ibrahim Al-Mustafa Aliyu, representing Wurno Raba, Federal Constituency from Sokoto State. Mr. Speaker, I want to align myself with the positive submissions made by my colleagues, and I want to briefly talk on three broad sections as far as the 2022 budget presentation by Mr. President is concerned. Number one, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to commend Mr. President and the leadership of the National Assembly and all honorable members for being what they have been, being prompt and turning the budget line of January to December. Mr. President and the executive have been up and doing ensuring that there is 100% implementation of the previous budget. That is very commendable. In fact, when Mr. President was making his submission, members were very attentive, and you can see the clamor they are going around with a lot of applauses, endorsing Mr. President's speech. On the second note, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I want to talk briefly on the budget deficit. The budget deficit of about 6 trillion in the 2022 budget. Even though allowed, we have seen greater nations like the United States, France, and whatever that we have seen the circulation made that are well indebted. If borrowing is to finance development, so be it. Nigeria is struggling to stand on its toes, and we thank God with the good leadership and the sincerity of the leadership under Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, we are able to pass through the COVID-19 pandemic, even though there are certain consequences, inflation rate and whatever. So what I'm saying in a nutshell, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we should be looking forward to 2023 budget that will be deficit-free, if possible. We have to look inward in terms of revenue generation, internally revenue generation. So few Nigerians are paying taxes. We all know that. Why? If countries like Tanzania will place their value-added tax at 18%, I don't see any reason why Nigeria will lag behind. We have to look inward to see that we are able to source enough revenue to finance our budget rather than borrowing. A lot of talks have been going on, people condemning, but I think to a certain extent, the previous speakers have done justice to that topic. I don't want to go into it. Borrowing is allowed if it's geared towards bringing development. Mr. Speaker, the third issue is the issue of resolution. This Honorable House has been passing resolution to the executive with a view to, bring in development back to their constituencies. These are genuine issues that the House finds very important and resolved. But we don't know, maybe without following up to all those resolutions, they are just archived. So the executive need to do more in seeing that the resolution of the Honorable House are taken seriously and they reflect in the budget. I want to give an example that has to do with me. In July 2019, I moved a motion here about the construction of Raba.
Honorable Architect, your time is off, Architect.
I moved a motion about the need to reconstruct Raba Junction to Bokuro Junction Road, which is about 81 kilometers, constructed 37 years ago, housing about 47 communities. That road was so badly dilapidated that it's no longer motorable. The House resolved that road should be included in the 2020 budget. That 2020 budget passed without the road reflected. 2022 budget now, the 2020-2021 passed without that project included in the budget. So even in 2022, I followed up to the extent of meeting the minister, but I was unlucky. When I went there, they have already submitted their budget proposal. So meaning that those people will still remain where they are and how they are, under extreme suffering, even in 2022, if care is not taken. So I want to echo the position of Honorable Gandhi that the resolution of the National Assembly of the House of Representatives particularly should be taken into consideration seriously by executive while preparing their budget. On the same lane, I want to talk about the budget, the defense budget. I've gone through the proposal.
Oh, okay. Is that why I think your time is up already. Chief Whip.